Google's trying to grab any authentic content they can.
I think that there is going to be someone who differentiates themselves.
By the way, it's probably going to happen this year.
Just let's stop that in 2025. So in 2024, I started off with focusing on unique, high-quality content that directly targets your customers. I think this trend is just going to continue into 2025. And there's so much more opportunity to build better local content with the use of AI, whether that's finding underperforming queries with your Google Search Console data or just building better outlines to just get the ball rolling. There's lots of opportunities there. We've also seen a shift into wanting to build on a local business's brand and their brand reputation online and not just focusing on your own website. I think it's going to be really important in 2025 to understand where your target customers are online and where they're searching for your goods and services, and that you're in those spaces and that your content is formatted for those spaces as well. Local businesses can also benefit from multiple communication channels. So we live in a world where you'll call your local dentist or fill out a contact form and you won't hear back, or they won't talk to you again, so you have to keep calling. This is really frustrating for customers. Should be really simple to make sure you respond and you're communicating with your customers, but also try and offer them more places or more ways to get in contact with you.
I think Google is going to start pushing social media more for small businesses. So we saw it beginning with the, you can go and add your social links, which is like whoop-de-doo. Like it's not like the biggest feature ever that they added last year, but what I'm starting to notice, and Sterling Sky actually has this for our knowledge panel. Some people, I think Ben's company does too. I don't know. Instead of Google posts, they actually show our Instagram posts or our Facebook posts. It keeps rotating instead of Google posts. And so you search our name if you get our knowledge panel. They're starting to do that on mobile. And I've seen that with a few brands. And that's intriguing to me because I'm like, oh yeah, that's another way to push social media, for small businesses. And now we're seeing on desktop, we're starting to see these like carousels that are posts from like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc., for like restaurant queries and like lots of really hyper local queries. So I do think that Google's trying to grab any authentic content they can that they know is real to kind of fight off all of the garbage they are being fed written by bots.
Your reputation is going to continue to be really important in 2025. It's getting more and more difficult to rank in highly competitive locations and industries. So the more reviews that kind of back up what you do and how you do it better is going to be really important, but do not pay for reviews. Just let's stop that in 2025, please. But lastly, the more unique and specific your content is to your business, the better you're going to look in local search engine result pages. So in a world of AI and online scams, the more real you appear, the better. So just stop and do not use stock images of your local business. Make sure you have real images of your business, your team, and your goods and services. So I wish you all the luck in 2025.
All right, my hot take for 2025 is actually a little bit of a prediction as well, I guess you could say, but also from just some personal use. And that is that I think that beyond conversational search, right, which I consider conversational search when you're either using Gemini or using, basically any of the answer engines really to ChatGPT. And you're having a conversation live and you can interrupt the answer basically and ask further questions or delve into different topics or whatever. And so I am an early adopter and I use the Meta AI glasses. And I've been using these things for about 6 months now. And one of the interesting things that I found out from a local perspective is I was hanging out in Vegas with me and my crew. We're out there having a retreat. And I was able to walk around the MGM and get all sorts of information about the different types of businesses that were in there. We were thinking about going to a place basically for dinner. Happened to be right around the corner. Okay, didn't know exactly how to get there, asked for directions on how to get there, asked about the current menu, what was going on, if somebody had this kind of basically dietary restriction, was it on the menu, could they deal with that? And it was able to answer all of these questions for me in real time as I was actually on my way and walking to the restaurant itself. And there was many other different types of things that you could do basically just by having AI at your disposal, in a sense, right? So I think that eventually one day this is going to probably, well, even Zuckerberg said this the other day, this is probably going to replace the phone. I'm definitely a believer in wearables, and I think that really that we as as an industry marketers need to start looking at how these wearables are going to affect our local clients. I think actually, believe it or not, I think that software is all just kind of at this point being built, right? Because what we have right now from a wearables perspective, um, it's like an old flip phone, basically. There's hardly any real tech going on in it. But once it gets to Minority Report level or close to it, like with LEDs and AR overlays and things like that, which by the way is probably going to happen this year. Samsung's already got it. That's when we are going to need to look at it. We're going to be like, need to start testing it actually, probably, and saying, okay, well, are there any kind of parameters coming through that we can track? What can we do basically to filter that traffic? And hopefully we can see it inside of Google Search Console or something. Maybe.
Yeah, I think as far as AI integration and usage with search, I think we're going to have someone kind of pull ahead as a clear winner, even more so than there is now. I'm not like holding my breath that it's going to be Bing or anything like that, but I think that there is going to be someone who like differentiates themselves just because Google has all of their wearables and things like that, and the ability to track all of that. And now ChatGPT is working with Apple. So there is an opportunity for one of them to pull ahead of the other. I do think Google has a better head start for sure, because Apple was not doing anything along these lines really up until very recently. So we'll see who comes ahead. But I do think this is maybe an opportunity where there's going to be a significantly more competition for Google, and especially on the AI front.